How's it going, guys? I am Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. Halcyon Real Estate is affiliated with Keller Williams in Salt Lake City, Utah here. Today is the 22nd of May. Time is flying by. This is the real estate numbers. Every week I'm looking at several specific numbers, just pulling the data right off the MLS and providing it here to you. I want you to have that unadulterated data to make decisions with. So I'll share with you these numbers. I'll tell you whether they're up or down from the previous week and what any current trends may look like, whether the trends are from the beginning of the year or for the last couple of months or whatever it is. Then I'll just give you my brief take on what's going on, what those numbers mean. And then just really quick before we start, if you want a breakdown of what all these numbers mean individually and what things would look like if it was stacked up all for a buyer or stacked up all for a seller, check out my real estate numbers explained video. It's flagged at the top right of your screen. You should be able to check that out and get solid on all that. Let's go ahead and look at some numbers. So our inventory, our current number of active listings as of right now sits at 7,151. That is up from last week by about 260. And that has been trending up for the last couple of months, and that is good news, as we've said in the last several videos. Average days on market. Average days on market is all about how long a property sits on the market before it accepts an offer and goes under contract. On average right now, that sits at 49 days. That's up 5 days from the previous week, but is definitely still trending down from the start of the year. Now on our next number, list price versus sold price, the difference between those two numbers. Well, in order to know the difference, you need to know what those two numbers are. So last week, on average, our list price was $648,207. Our average sold price was $639,362. The difference between those two numbers being $8,845. That is further away from zero from last week by about $1,140. It is still trending closer to zero from the year's start, as you can see. Okay, the number of homes sold in the prior week was 576. That's up almost a solid 100 from the previous week. It's trending up if we look at it from the beginning of the year, but it's been fairly stable over the last couple of months. Okay, the number of properties that are currently sitting under contract is 5,325. That is down a mere 3 from last week. Last week was the highest we've seen it this year so far, and while it is down by 3 from last week, it is still trending up. The number of times last week that a seller decided they needed to drop their asking price, that happened 796 times. That is up almost a full 100 from the previous week, and that is trending up over the last couple of months pretty strongly. And finally, the number of canceled, expired, and withdrawn listings last week came to 248, up by about 30 from the previous week. Really still trending down from the major drop that we had at the beginning of the year, but really fairly stable between 250 and 500 per week since that initial big drop. All right, what's my take? My take is that overall, things are good, moving in a healthy direction for Utah's real estate market. The current national data shows all-time lows for new active listings right now. There are a few states, including Utah, that are incentivizing new builds. It's incentivizing builders to build more by incentivizing new buyers in particular to purchase new builds. There's various reasons for that to happen, but the point is, Utah's in a better place than a lot of the nation when it comes to our inventory climbing up right now, precisely because of recent legislation that incentivizes new builds, as I said. New builds are a significant portion of our increased inventory that's been going on the last couple of months, and that increasing inventory is really good for a number of reasons that we've talked about in previous videos, but I'll just say again briefly. Downward pressure on inventory has the result of an upward inflationary effect on the housing market. We were cutting it pretty close, pretty low there. At the beginning of the year, we were in the high 7,000s in inventory, and it was marching down rapidly. And when spring hit, the question was, are homes going to be sold at a pace faster than homes are going to be hitting the market? And the answer to that question was perhaps particularly because of the legislation incentivizing new builds, that the rate at which we are adding inventory in Utah is outpacing the rate of sales, and that's good. So that's my take this week, guys. Utah is coming out of a tough place and headed in the right direction. So guys, if you or anybody you know is interested in buying or selling a home in Utah in the coming months or this year, feel free to reach out to me and let me know. You can call me at 801-834-9713. My team will be happy to help. You can also, of course, just reach out in the comments there. And if you have any questions about anything that was said in this video, hit me in those comments as well. And if you would like to stay educated with local, accurate data for what's happening in the Utah real estate market right now from week to week, there's not gonna be a better way than for you to hit that subscribe button. We'll see each other from week to week and stay better educated together. All right, we'll see you next week.